Welcome to the Brodhead Middle School Athletic Code Meeting. Though we have never done a code meeting in the past, I feel the online version is a great way to communicate to get off to a very great start this 2017-2018 school year. Academic requirements. At the time of progress reports and at the end of the quarterly grading period, a student will become ineligible to participate if he or she is failing any class. Students will initially be ineligible for 5 school days. During that time, the ineligible student may not participate in any contest or event or travel with the team to any away contest or event. Ineligible students are required to attend practice to remain on the team. Ineligible students are required to complete a weekly grade sheet that shows that they are passing each and every class. This requirement will remain in effect for the remainder of the season for athletics and the remainder of the quarter for other activities. At the end of the 5-day period, a student will become eligible if he/she is receiving a passing grade, D or better, in all of his or her classes. If the student remains ineligible after the 5-day period, he or she will be dropped from the squad and will be encouraged to join a study group to help with his or her academic progress. Alcohol, drugs, cigarette, e-cigarette possession or use. The use or possession of alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes, e-cigarettes, including matches and lighters, is prohibited by this code and the WIAA. It is also a violation of this code to be in attendance at any party, location, or function where these prohibited substances are being used or consumed in violation of this code or state statutes. Any participant with such an infraction will receive an activity athletic suspension in addition to any school consequence. After a signed complaint has been received and reviewed, the suspension will be given to the participant in writing. The first offense, the student will be suspended for 1/2 of the season or activity. The second offense, the student will be dropped from the squad or activity. If the violation occurs towards the end of the season and there's not enough games left to fulfill, the participants are required to serve the remaining portion of the suspension during the next sports season or activity in which he or she participates. The participant is still required to attend practices. Failure to attend practice will result in the participant being dropped from the squad or activity. If the participant is not at the time of the violation a member of any squad, he or she will be suspended from 1/2 of the contest, excluding scrimmages in the next sport which the athlete participates. Appeals process. Appeals may be requested by students and or parents' guardians. The appeals must be directed to the principal within 5 school working days of the initial decision. The appeal must be in writing, must include the rationale for overturning the initial decision. The principal will make the decision within 2 school working days after receiving the appeal. The principal will notify the appealing party of any change of status. If a parent or guardian is not in agreement with the principal's decision, they may appeal in writing to the superintendent of schools within 5 school working days. The superintendent will review the information from the parent, guardian, and the principal and communicate a decision to the parents within 5 school working days. If the parent or guardian is still dissatisfied with the decision of the superintendent, they may forward in writing an appeal to the president of the Board of Education. The president of the board will then place the appeal on the agenda of the next regularly scheduled board meeting. After the board has heard the appeal, a decision shall be communicated within 5 school working days to the parent guardian. Students may practice but are not eligible to compete or perform during the appeals process. 5 school working day maximum limits are incorporated into the appeals process to assure the timely implementation of this policy. Any deviation from this procedure may result in the termination of the appeal. Attendance. A student must be in school on the day of a contest and on days of practice by 9 a.m. in order to participate. The following exceptions will be made: absence due to a school function, doctor, dentist, orthodontist appointment, and family emergency as excused by the principal. The principal must clear all exceptions. If a student attends school, he/she will be expected to attend practice. Behavior actions on becoming a person representing our school. Disruptive behavior in the school. This would consist of fighting, vandalism, stealing, extreme disrespect, or other actions in which the administration deals with through suspension. This is not to say that all suspensions will result in a co-curricular code violation, but only the most serious. Violations of the criminal code and/or illegal acts. This would be any activities outside the school that poorly represent Brodhead Middle School. All consequences here will be the same as those in number 2, alcohol, drug, cigarette, e-cigarette possession or use in this booklet. Code signature. Students participating in co-curricular activities must, along with the parent guardian, understand and sign the code agreement before they begin participation in a co-curricular activity. You can find this at the end of the slideshow presentation. Detention. Students who receive a discipline referral on the day of an event will not be allowed to participate in that event. A student earning 3 detentions in a season for athletics or a quarter for other activities will be ineligible for the next event. Students are required to attend practice after serving an after-school detention. Eligibility. A student must meet all eligibility requirements of the WIAA for junior high, middle school, as well as other requirements for Brodhead Middle School in order to participate in athletics. Enforcement of the code. Any individual who reports a violation of the code must give in writing, signed and dated report to the principal within 10 working days of the alleged violation. The report shall specifically state the place, time, date of the violation and alleged violators. Violations of the code may be also enforced based on the reports confirmed by the law enforcement officials or self-admission. The report must be made directly to the principal, the superintendent, or Board of Education members. If the report is, in the judgment of the principal, a valid one, the student will be given an opportunity to discuss the charges. If the student admits that the charges are true, he/she will receive a consequence according to the code. If he/she denies the charges, the principal and activity athletic director will complete an investigation and make a determination as to the truth within 2 school working days. A formal letter will be sent to the student and his or her parent guardian if the student is being suspended from activities according to the code. Illness. Students who are absent from school due to illness on the day of an activity may not practice or participate in the activity. Injuries. Students participating in co-curricular activities must, along with the parent or guardian, understand and sign the concussion and head injury parent-student consent document before they begin participation in a co-curricular activity. Participants injured during a school-sponsored activity are required to report the accident to his or her coach or advisor as soon as possible. When appropriate, an accident report will be completed by the coach or advisor. The school district does not provide any type of health or accident insurance for injuries incurred by your child at school. Here's what the concussion form looks like, and you can find the attachments at the end of this video. Medical information. A student may not participate in interscholastic activities, athletics, until the school has written evidence on the file in the office attesting to a parental permission and a physical examination as determined by a licensed physician. First-year athletes are required to have a physical examination and a signed athletic permit card on file in the office, green form and card. Second-year athletes are required to have a signed alternate year athletic permit card on file in the office, tan card. Any participant with medical concerns, example is allergies or asthma, should give the coach advisor a note stating the concern. Participation in physical education. Students must participate in physical education class on the day of a sporting event in order to be eligible to participate in the event for that day. Any student receiving an in-school or out-of-school suspension will not be allowed to participate in the next event. This pertains to a season or quarter for athletics or activities. Students serving an in-school or out-of-school suspension will not be allowed to practice on the day or days they are serving the detention or suspension. Transportation to and from an event activity. All participants are required to ride the school bus to the event activity and follow all bus riding policies. Students may ride home from an event with a parent or guardian once a permission form has been signed in the presence of a coach or advisor at the event or activity. This is a reminder that coaches and advisors may impose rules more stringent than those presented in the code. In that event, the coach's rules shall govern, provided that the copies of such rules have been provided to the principal, athletic director, and students' parents or guardians. The administration reserves the right to make policies and decisions as needed to address specific issues that arise that may not be explicitly covered in this code. The School District of Brodhead does not discriminate against pupils on the basis of sex, race, national origin, ancestry, creed, religion, pregnancy, marital or parental status, sexual orientation, or physical, mental, emotional, or learning disability or handicap, or other basis prohibited by applicable federal or state law in its education program. Here's a document that you will have to sign in agreement to the athletic code. Both parent and student must sign this code. Here are the resources that you can print out and sign to bring in during registration time. If you do not have a printer available, there will be extra copies during registration. Just a couple of side items. Just a reminder, Booster Club supports and is a big financial backing for our athletic department. I encourage all of you to become involved by going to monthly meetings and contacting Elaine Beskup if you would like to be part of the concession stand working. I encourage those middle school parents to work Friday night football games and vice versa. We have an athletic trainer that comes once or twice a week. If your child is in need of a trainer looking at them, please let Mr. Kammer, the athletic director, know. We continue our press box fundraising campaign. This is well underway. If you would like to donate to this campaign in hopes of getting a new press box, you can go online underneath the athletic department and print out a copy to send in, or contact Mr. Kammer, athletic director, and I will send one to you. You can pay your sports fees at the time of registration, and a reminder to get your physical or alternate card in as well before we begin practice.